Marvel Legends, Amazon exclusive, Ronan the Accuser from the Guardians of the Galaxy. What? Shouldn't that be Fantastic Four? Let's talk about it. What's good, my peeps? Big Ruck back at you again. We've got another action figure review for you. I know I've slowed down, and I'm going to be slowing down with my action figure reviews. I'll be concentrating more on my other channel. I already told you guys that. And but every once in a while, something just needs to be talked about. And what we have here is, well, it is a redo of sorts. We're talking about Ronan the Accuser. Yes, indeed. Long-awaited redo in the iconic and classic style that we remember him, that we know him for. We've gotten Ronan before as a Build-A-Figure back in the, we'll call it dark days of Hasbro Marvel Legends. Dark days, one of the aspects of the dark days were no ankle pivots. And just, you know, not very good molds and stuff like that. Some came out decent for the time, but for the most part, especially looking back, it was something else. Anyway, we'll check that out very, very soon. What we have here is you see the artwork behind our illustration of the figure of Ronan the Accuser. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy down below. Now, you heard me say in the opener, questioning that decision to have Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I know what it's for, because the people who aren't avid comic book readers know of Ronan from the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. So that's understandable. So it's really more, you know, marketing, going with what Hasbro / Marvel assumes are the majority of people that know Ronan from. When truth in fact, Ronan got his beginnings way back in the 60s with the Fantastic Four, when they were having issues with the Kree. But yeah, that's basically what time it is with that. Anyway, you see what we got there on the side. We've got some artwork of Ronan the Accuser right there. On the other side, we have a digital render of the figure. On the back, we've got another digital render of the figure with his Cosmirod, aka the universal weapon, which is what I like to call it. Anyhow, looking pretty good there. That's an oversized, big-ass hammer there. So that's what we got. Next up, we're going to see Ronan and check him out. So here we have our guy Ronan, the Accuser, in all his glory on our rotating base, so you can see what's going on. This is definitely the iconic look for Ronan. I'm loving that we're getting this update. It's funny, we're getting an update, but of course, used parts, not used parts, but old parts are being used. You could see right away that we're just pinned out, single jointed, elbows pinned, and of course the legs are pinned. I believe these legs are the same legs that we got on Death's Head 2 from a few years ago. We'll take a closer look at all of that. What you see is what you get with Ronan right here. He just comes with his universal weapon, aka the Cosmirod, and that's it. No additional hands. We don't get any fists. We get nothing. Not an additional head, which would have been, I guess, problematic because of that hood. But, I mean, we could have gotten something. This is a deluxe figure. It costs a bit more than the typical. I believe this is a $38, $39 figure, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and this is what we get. I mean, Hasbro, their Marvel Legends line, has really taken to nickel and diamond us when it comes to accessories. I mean, it's become the norm now, and I try not to really be disparaging about it, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe the license is so friggin' high, the Disney Marvel license is so high that they've had to come at it from both ways, raise the prices and reduce what we get for the product, just to try to keep the prices reasonable. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not here trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to come up with the whys. You know what I'm saying? I, for one, want more accessories, because bare bones for $40 is, I mean, I went and spent my money, but still, having said that, it's, you know, it leaves a lot to be desired. Anyway, let's get Ronan off the base and check him out, see what's what. And so after a quick background change, I figured I'd make the aesthetic a little bit more space-like, if you will. You know, a little bit more futuristic, considering who we're dealing with today. And it's just coincidence that all of the machinery happens to be a shade of green itself. That was, that part of it was unplanned. Anyway, looking at our guy Ronan here, we got him standing before us. I removed the universal weapon just so we can get a better look at him. We'll take a look at his head sculpt first. Okay, here we have a closer look at that head sculpt. You see Ronan. The Kree are they're not a blue skinned race. They actually are blue skin, and there are pink skins. And strangely enough, the pink skins are the we won't say oppressed people, but they're the ones that are looked down upon like they're second-class citizens. And the irony there does not escape me. Anyway, looking at Ronan, you see that he's got the blue skin, and we've got those patches over the eyes, and of course the pupilless eyes just white, and metallic green for the forehead, and he's got that hood, so it's pretty cool. The great thing is that it's not affixed, so you can move the head despite the hood. The hood isn't affixed. The hood, like I said, you can move it around, so that's pretty good right there, despite the shoulder pads, which we'll see when we zoom out. And as far as those shoulder pads are concerned, they're pegged in. They're not static or stationary, and you're gonna need that because the pegs. I don't want to get ahead of myself with articulation, but removing the pads is the only real way that you're gonna get your full 90 with the shoulders, and of course the rotation. But you do lose the aesthetic, so you got to get into a certain kind of pose and then put that shoulder pad back. Anyway, that's what Ronan looks like. Taking a look at the rest of the figure, you can see the different greens right there around the neck and the collar, and then it goes down there, and you've got like technically three shades of green there going on there. He's got the belt, which is basically separate, but it's kind of like glued in, so you got that. And pretty nice design. And those legs, like I was talking about, I believe they're from Death's Head 2 is where these legs come from. And then you have the rest there. Those boots, they look like they come from Colossus or something like that. And Colossus from I believe that was the Warlock wave. I could be mistaken about that, but I think that's where those are from. On the back, fortunately, we get the design on the back too, so Hasbro did not cheap out on us there. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, we've got the single jointed elbows, and they're pinned. Everything is pinned. This is an older mold, so there is that. So we ended up getting an updated Ronan, but on an older body or parts, something like that. Anyway, as far as articulation goes, I'll take off that shoulder pad again so I can go through it. But anyway, the head, you could turn left, right. You're not going to get it going back much because of that hood. You can look down. As I showed earlier, you can get a 90 when you have the shoulder pad off, and you can 360 at the shoulder. You've got the bicep swivel, you've got single jointed elbow, and that's all you're going to get. Not even really 90. It's about 75, about 85 degrees. That's all you'll get. Your wrist will swivel, even though the gauntlet goes over the wrist and will somewhat impede it, but you can get it to move, which is cool. And you have the horizontal hinge in there, and that's on both sides there. In terms of your abs, you've got an ab crunch. You can go forward that far, go back about that far. You've got a waist swivel in there, so you can get that going on. Now you've got a skirt there, so you know that's going to impede your hips, but you can get them out to about that much. There's slits there, so that makes it a little bit better. But that's really about all you're going to get kicking forward with Ronan. Back, not very much. You've got the thigh cut, the double jointed knees right here. Mine is kind of tight, which is cool. Can't front, but this is all you'll get from that. In terms of swiveling down below, it's not here at the top of the boot. It's at the bottom of that area right there. It's at the calf area. You can point your toe that far forward, that far up. You do have ankle pivot and holes, peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Taking a look at the universal weapon, otherwise known as the Cosmo Rod. You see it's pretty long. The head of the hammer portion, pretty large. It's just molded in this grayish plastic. Looks kind of cheap. I mean, they try to do their best to make it look metallic. You've got marbleization throughout. The hammer itself, it's got scuff marks showing that it's been in battle, or it's been, impacting with something. You've got the sky blue painting there. Goes all over, all around the universal weapon, so that's cool. But that's really all you get. You've got detail there, texture here, down here at the bottom. You've got some spikes as well, but that's about the size of it. But it is an accurate depiction of the universal weapon. And here's our guy wielding that universal weapon. Looks pretty good. This is definitely the way how Ronan should look. We should have probably gotten him years ago, but hey, we got him now, so I'm not complaining. Now here we have our Ronan Amazon Deluxe exclusive figure next to the original that we got. This was a bath. This was a Fantastic Four wave Ronan bath, and yeah, like I said, Fantastic Four. That's Ronan is basically a Fantastic Four villain. He's not so villainous anymore. He's actually, he's, I don't want to say changed his ways. He was kind of portrayed as a villain simply because, Earth was basically at odds with the Kree. So, of course, your enemy is considered the villain. Those who win wars usually write the history books. So, that's what it is. He was what it is, an accuser. He was basically like an officer of the court, but a pretty ruthless one at that. But anyway, you can see the differences. Our Ronan is, our new Ronan is bigger than the Build-A-Figure was. And the Build-A-Figure, the costume was how Ronan was rolling for a while. You guys also should know part of his journey to the light side, if you will. He, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they officially got married or not, but he was definitely a consort of Crystal of the Inhumans. When the Inhumans actually ruled over the Kree for a minute or two. And he's part of the Annihilators, which I'm happy that we've gotten this Ronan to, update that team. And the Annihilators, a cosmic superhero team. Basically, all the members were straight badasses. We're talking about the Silver Surfer. We're talking about Better Ray Bill. Quasar. We've got Gladiator as part of that crew. So, I mean, you would think that they were basically unstoppable. And due to writing or whatever, and during the time of, making Thanos the ultimate badass, Thanos actually took on that entire squad. And you guessed it, he beat them all by himself, which is crazy. But it is what it is. That's what went down. But, yeah, here's our comparison of Ronan, the Amazon exclusive, and Ronan, the 2007 BAF. Here's Ronan with Kree Sentry 459. They were in back-to-back issues, their introductions way back in the day with Fantastic Four. Here's Ronan with a pair of Kree soldiers. It's a shame that, as far as we know, I don't think it's official, but Hasbro kind of sort of stopped their army building program, and we've never gotten any Kree soldiers. So, we got Skrulls, but we never got any replacement Krees. At least I don't recall. Am I losing my mind? Because I know I haven't changed my display, which is where these two Kree soldiers came from. And now here's the shot that I've been waiting for. We've got the Annihilators. Definitely got it going on there. We have on our left, Ronan's right, Quasar, Wendell Vaughn. Behind him, Kalark, Gladiator. And then we've got the Silver Surfer. And rounding out, we have Beta Ray Bill. Now, I mean, just look at this crew right here. I mean, come on now. Even Thanos shouldn't be able to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just was making Thanos a straight up badass back then. So, it is what it is. But, yep, here we have a nearly complete set assemblage of the Annihilators. There's one more member that was really only introduced with the Annihilators, never seen. It was a she, never seen her anywhere else, and since, for that matter. So this is the core group right here, and for me, the only group that actually matters. And since I keep bringing them up, I figured I may as well display them. We've got Thanos. This is the Build-A-Figure Thanos from an Avengers wave from a minute back. And for my final comparison, we go with a pair of hammer wielders. We've got the 80th anniversary Mighty Thor with custom cape, of course. So to sum it all up, the Hasbro Marvel Legends Amazon exclusive Ronan the Accuser Deluxe is far from that. It isn't deluxe. I'm very happy to have Ronan. The update was sorely needed, especially in this iconic appearance right here. The Universal Weapon is on a crack, and the paint app on the Universal Weapon is nice. Even though the figure is accurate to the old school source material, those shoulder pads will prove to be problematic. If you look in, you could see in the pose that I currently have Ronan in, the fronts have already been pegged out. They came out like that. So that's what's going to go on with that. So be prepared for that. But you can still get into some decent poses. I changed up his poses in this review a few times, specifically for that reason, because I know that the shoulder pads are going to be an issue. It's got, other than that, for a relatively large figure, it's got some nice articulation, even though the ranges with the knees and elbows are limited. You can still get them to look good. Mostly it's because this aesthetic for Ronan looks good. It looks very nice. I'm happy about it. I'm glad that I've got my team of Annihilators. I mean, I had the team before, but this is what I really wanted. I wanted Ronan to look like this for the team of Annihilators. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Wish we had some upgraded Kree soldiers, but we don't. We've got an undersized Kree Sentry 459, which was a Build-A-Figure. It should have been much larger. That Build-A-Figure should have been Hulkbuster size, minimum. But this isn't about that. This is about Ronan. So, yeah, I don't think it's worth the $39 price point. But in this day and age, we're going to be saying that a lot, aren't we? Lack of accessories. We could have gotten some fists, maybe a head sculpt with him, you know, gritting his teeth, showing some effort there, some exertion. We didn't. What you see right here is all we got, and that's quite disappointing. Anyway, unfortunately, I have to end on that note. It is what it is. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Definitely subscribe. I just got through saying that. And any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, leave them down there in the comment section. Do that. You want to be notified for the next time I upload a video. There's a bell. You can hit that, and that'll happen too. But if you don't, I'm not going to judge you. Ronan might. He is the accuser. But, hey, that's out of my hands. Anyway, on behalf of Ronan the Accuser, I am your Knucker Big Ruck of Big Ruck D's. The ruck is humming, coming at you, leaving you with this. Remember, the hunt continues. And I'm out. Peace.